Political tensions are running high ahead of tomorrow's by-election in 16 constituencies across 12 states, with rival parties trading allegations of sabotage, mobilizing supporters and bracing for a showdown widely viewed as a litmus test for the battles that could shape Nigeria's 2027 general election. In Kaduna State, a joint coalition of the African Democratic Congress and Social Democratic Party, led by former Kaduna State Governor Nasir El-Rufai, accused the All Progressive Congress of recruiting about 4,000 thugs to disrupt the election in Chikun, Kajuru, Sabon Gari, and Zaria federal and state constituencies. Addressing a press conference in Kaduna yesterday, ADC's Northwest Vice Chairman Jafar Aru Ibrahim Sani alleged that the APC-led state government was planning to sabotage the polls through violence inducements of electoral officials and vote buying. He claimed local councils have been compelled to contribute 30 million naira each to an election sabotage fund, while an additional 4.8 billion naira from Abuja would be used to compromise officials of the Independent National Electoral Commission securities against the influence result. Sonny alleged that senior state officials have held secret meetings with INEC personnel and were recruiting thugs to attack opposition rallies. He urged INEC to recall all compromised staff and called on security agencies to protect voters' rights. However, in a swift response, Commissioner for Information Ahmed Mayaki and Local Government Affairs Maman Lagos dismissed the allegation as baseless. Mayaki accused El-Rufai of hypocrisy, insisting Governor Uba Sani was committed to free and fair polls and would not undermine election integrity. Reports from across the 12 states where by-elections will be held suggest that the contests are shaping up to be a test of strength between the federal government and the incumbent governor in PDP-controlled states. In APC's stronghold, the battle appears set between the ruling party and the ADC-led coalition. Former ADC National Chairman Ralph Nwosu said preliminary field reports did not indict INEC but pointed to what he described as the ruling APC's desperation to capture all 16 by-elections as part of its 2027 national takeover strategy. In the same vein, national chairman of the African Democratic Congress and former Senate President David Mark urged the Independent National Electoral Commission to conduct tomorrow's by-election with fairness, transparency, and integrity to avoid further eroding public trust. Also, the ADC accused the Ogun state government of deploying security agencies to frustrate its campaign activities ahead of tomorrow's by-election for the Ikenne Shagamu Remo North Federal Constituency. The party alleged that despite formally notifying the police of its campaign plan through an acknowledged letter, its rally was disrupted on Thursday at the Tamotoye roundabout, Ishara. ADC claimed that the canopies were dismantled, chairs broken, musical instruments seized, and an armored tank deployed to intimidate its candidates, leaders, and supporters. The special assistant to President Bola Tinubu on social media, Dada Olusegun, has countered popular blogger Tunde Ednut's claim on tax reforms. The blogger alleged that Nigerians earning 800,000 naira yearly will be levied a 20% tax on their total yearly income. Olusegun addressed this claim on X, describing it as misinformation being peddled by certain bloggers on social media, led by Tunde Ednut. It is important to restate some facts about the tax reform bills, whose implementation is set to take off by January 2026 for personal income. The newly proposed tax is a progressive system, which means higher earners will pay more tax while low-income earners pay less or none. As the case may be, he wrote on X, He outlined the specific rates: a 0% tax on the first 800,000 naira of income, 15% on the next 2.2 million, 18% on the next 9 million, 21% on the next 13 million, 23% on the next 25 million, and 25% on income above 50 million. Olusegun emphasized that the new tax reforms were implemented to ensure equitable tax distribution among high and low earners. According to him, the goal of the new tax bill is to ensure that low income earners are adequately protected while high income earners pay their fair share, reduce inequality, and alleviate the burden of excessive taxation. He added that the new tax reform will eliminate multiple taxation across different levels of government for Nigerians. Describing the tax reform as a game changer, Olusegun noted that misinformation on tax reforms will not be welcomed. Political appointees of Governor Biodun Oyebanji of Ekiti have presented a check of 10 million naira to him as contribution for the purchase of the All Progressive Congress nomination form ahead of the party's governorship primary. The news agency of Nigeria reports that Oyebanji's first term in office will end in October 2026. The donation, which was announced in Ado-Ekiti on Thursday, involved the senior special assistants, senior technical assistants, and technical assistants serving in the current administration. The senior special assistant to the governor on strategy, Tokpe Olainipekun, presented the check on behalf of the group to Oyebanji, who was represented by his chief of staff, Mr. Niyi Adebayo. Olainipekun noted that the governor had demonstrated exceptional leadership, transparency, and dedication to the welfare of Ekiti people. According to him, this justifies the group's decision to rally support for a second term in office. He said that the contributions was voluntary and reflected the confidence the aides have in the governor's ability to sustain good governance. Olainipekun noted that the APC had set the cost of purchasing the expression of interest form at 10 million naira and the nomination form at 40 million naira, with the commencement of sales of the forms on August 26. He maintained that the aides decided to pay for the expression of interest form to demonstrate that the endorsements by over 30 groups in the state was a true reflection of people's love for the governor. He further stressed that the decision of the group was driven by the desire to ensure continuity of the governor's policies and projects, particularly in infrastructure, human capital development, and economic growth. He promised that the group would continue to mobilize stakeholders across the state to consolidate in Oyebanji's achievements and ensure his overwhelming victory in the election. Receiving the check, Oyebanji commended the aides for their unwavering support and promised to sustain the confidence reposed in him by sustaining his people-oriented governance. The governor, who was represented by his chief of staff, Niyi Adebayo, noted that the donation was more than just a financial contribution, but a demonstration of shared vision and collective responsibility to the progress of the state. Ogbomoso and its neighboring local government areas were agog on Wednesday as community leaders, youth, party loyalists, and residents trooped out en masse to welcome Chief Niyi Aborishade, a prominent governorship aspirant on the platform of the People's Democratic Party for the 2027 Oyo State election. The visit formed part of Aborishade's ongoing consultation aimed at actualizing his governorship ambition. The political colossus and his campaign team met with leaders and selected stakeholders from across Ogbomosho and adjoining local government areas. The gathering witnessed enthusiastic support with residents, political stakeholders, and youth groups pledging to work tirelessly towards his victory. Aborishade, a UK-trained lawyer and human rights advocate, has continued to receive growing grassroots backing as he moves across the states to consult with key stakeholders ahead of 2027's polls. It would be recalled that people from the Ibarapa and Okeogun zones has made the same pledges during his visits to the areas. That's all on the news. My name is Peace Oladipo. Thank you.